Hello, welcome to Animansa Studios. In today's modeling tutorial, we want to model this container here. Alright, please, if you are new to the channel, we would like for you to click on that subscription button and then turn on the notification bell so that you can be a beneficiary to our tutorial modeling videos. Alright, and if you're already our member, we would love for you to like our videos whenever you watch them and share them to your friends. Alright, so without further ado, let's start. The first thing we are going to do is to delete everything in the viewport. So press A on your keyboard to select everything and X to delete. Alright, so now let's bring in a plane. We are starting with a plane, so Shift A, Mesh and Plane. Alright, let's rotate it along the X axis by 90 degrees. So X 90. Alright, then press 1 to be in the front view. Alright, the next thing we are going to do, press tab on your keyboard to be in the edit mode and press 2 on your keyboard to be in the edge selection mode. So now hold shift, select this top edge, select this one here and select the bottom edge, then press X to delete edges. So now as you can see, we are left with this one edge here. Now press tab to be in the object mode and come to this modifiers panel, click on this, go to add modifier, generated, and go to screw. Alright, when you see something like this, please don't panic. Alright, so now what we are going to do to correct what you just see here is to check this y-axis. So check this y-axis and you now have something like a cylinder. Then the next thing we are going to do, come to where we have this screw, keep it at 2 meters. Alright, when you keep it at 2 meters, you see that this top vertex here, let's be in the vertex selection mode. Okay, so we are in the object mode, so we cannot be in the vertex selection mode. Alright, so this top corner here has shifted from where it was and went up like so, and the bottom shifted from where it was here and came to this direction here. Alright, so we need to have something like this. So the next thing you're going to do, come to where we have these iterations and keep it at 2. Alright, so after this we are going to apply this modifier. You could either come here, click on this and go to apply, or what you could do is to keep your cursor here in this modifiers panel and then press Ctrl A to apply. After applying that modifier, we now press tab on our keyboard to be in the edit mode, and now press A to select everything and SZ to scale along the Z axis, something like so. Alright, so now press Ctrl R to add a loop cut like so, and then Ctrl B to bevel like so. Alright, so we are left with something like this. What next we are going to do is to press A to select everything, then M and select mesh by distance. By doing so, we are going to remove a lot of vertices. Alright, so when you press mesh by distance, as you can see, 17 vertices have been removed. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is to be in the edge selection mode. We are already in the edge selection mode, so now you are going to hold shift and alt, select this top edge, and it's going to select all the top edges. Alright, so now hold shift, deselect this edge, deselect this edge, and deselect this edge. Alright, as you can see, now press E to extrude and Z to extrude along the Z axis like so, something like this. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do now is, while this is done and the edges are selected, press S to scale and Z to scale along the Z axis, then press 0 to flatten it, something like so. Alright, we are going to do same for the bottom part. So hold shift and alt to select this. Alright, then hold shift, deselect this edge, deselect this edge, and deselect this edge. Alright, then Z to extrude along the Z axis like so. Then S and Z to scale it, like so, then press 0 to flatten it. Alright, so as you can see, we have something like a cylinder. Alright, so press A to select everything and scale it down a bit, like so. Alright, so now let's be in the vertex selection mode. Press 1 on your keyboard to be in the vertex selection mode. So now if you look at this, let's select this vertex, press G to grab. As you can see, this vertex here is separated from this other vertex. What you are going to do is to merge them together. Alright, so how are we going to do that? We are going to add some more vertices. The reason being that is because as you can see, we have vertices here like this one here, and we have this one here, and we do not have here. So we need to add some vertices here so that we can merge them with these ones we have here. So how are we going to do that? Alright, see how we are going to do it. So let's undo this. Alright, press 3 on your keyboard to be in the first selection mode and select this first here. Then press 2 to be in the H selection mode. Then Hold Shift, deselect this H, deselect this H, and deselect this H. Alright, so now as you can see, one H is selected. Alright, while the H is selected, right click on your mouse and go to where we have subdivide. Subdivide it, then come to this subdivision panel and keep it at 3, like so. Alright, so now go to the vertex selection mode by pressing 1 on your keyboard. So now we have added extra vertices here. As you can see, this one was not here, but we have added it. So now what we are going to do is to move these vertices to be closer to the vertices at this other end so that we can merge them. So now we are going to select this one here, double press G on your keyboard, move it to be closer to this one. Then this one is already closer to this one, so select this one, double press G and move it closer to this one. So what we are going to do, the first thing we are going to do is select this vertex here, like so, hold Shift and select this other vertex. Then press M on your keyboard, go to where we have at last, merge at last. The reason we are selecting merge at last is because we want this vertex here, this one here, to merge next to this one here, to come closer to this one and merge. So that's why we are picking merge at last. And the reason being that is because this vertex here that is being selected is the one we selected last. So we are going to merge this one here to come closer to this one. So this is what we are going to do. So select this one first, hold Shift, select this one. So press M, merge at last. As you can see, the vertex that was here has been merged with the one we selected last. So let's press G to grab, and as you can see, they are all merged together. Alright, the next thing we are going to do, select this one here. As you can see, hold Shift, select this one, then M, merge at last. It has been merged with the other one, as you can see. Alright, so now select this one here. Alright, hold Shift, select this one and M to merge at last, as you can see. Alright, so now let's select this one here, hold Shift, select this one, M, merge at last. Alright, so we are going to do same for this bottom side. So press 3 to be in the first selection mode, select this face, then press 2 to be in the H selection mode. Alright, so hold Shift, deselect this H, deselect this one and deselect the bottom H. While this one is selected, right click, subdivide, then increase the number of cuts to 3. Alright, 3. Alright, then press 1 to be in the vertex selection mode. So now select this vertex, double press G, move it towards this side here. Alright, so now that is there, let's just merge it. So this, select this one and M, merge at last. So another one here, we have this one here. So hold Shift, select this one, M, merge at last. Then this other one here that is here, we are going to press double G move it this way, like this. So now hold shift, select this one and M, match at last. So this other one, which is the last one, this one, okay, not this one, is this one we want to select. Is this one we want to select, this one here. So anyway, you can select anyone you want to. Okay, let's just select anyone. So select this one here, hold shift, select this one. Then you want this one here to come closer to this and match. So M, match at last, as you can see. All right, so now press A to select everything. So let's just be at the server side and be sure that there is no overlapping vertex. So press M, go to match by distance. As you can see, 0 vertices, that means there's no overlapping vertex. All right, so now let's scale it a bit towards the Z axis. All right, like so. All right, the next thing we are going to do is Ctrl R to add a loop cut, like so. Then Ctrl B to bevel. All right, so now let's extrude this. So press E and S to scale. All right, like so. All right, so we have something like this. This is going to be our top side. All right, so something like this. Let's scale it a bit in. All right, so now let's go to the object mode and add a subdivision modifier. Go to your modifier panel. All right, go to subdivision, surface, click on it. Let's increase the level to 2, like so. Then tap to edit mode. All right, select this edge here. As you can see, move it along the Y axis, like so, and move it inward towards the X axis, like so. All right, select this one here, move it along the Y axis, like so, and move it inward. All right, like so. So now let's go back to object mode, and then we can right click and shade smooth it. All right, so this is the top of our bottle. All right, it could be a bottle or container, however you call it. So now let's start to the edit mode. All right, be in the edge selection mode, hold shift and alt, select this bottom edge here, as you can see. All right, so now let's extrude. Press E and Z to extrude, like so, and press E and Z to extrude again, like so. All right, so now let's be in the first selection mode and then press Ctrl R to add a loop cut here, like so. Then bevel it, like so. Then we are going to extrude, E to extrude and S to scale it outwards, like so. All right, so now let's select this other side here, hold shift and alt and select this. Make sure that all these edges at the bottom are selected. So now the next thing we are going to do, press E to extrude, snap it back, and then S to scale, like so. All right, so now E to extrude and Z to move it towards the Z axis, like so. So now let's move it down a bit, like so. All right, so now E to extrude again and S to scale it in, extrude, scale again. Then what we can do now is to maybe come to where we have face, and let's select this grid fill. All right, like so. Okay, so now let's bevel the bottom. Hold shift and alt, select these edges here at the bottom, Control B to bevel. Let's add some cuts, maybe something like so. Should we add more? Like so? No, let's keep it at this. All right, then let's go to the top here and also bevel. Hold shift and alt, select this, then bevel this like so, like so. All right, so let's add a loop cut here and give our container more details. All right, we want to make it to look more realistic, so add a loop cut here, move it down like so. All right, we can equally add another loop cut here, move it inward, then we can add another one here and move it inward to make our container to have more details. All right, so I think we are through with this. The next thing we are going to do now, let's look at what we have just done. All right, I think we love this. So let's now model the lid. Before we model the lid, let's give this our body. This is the bottle, the body. Let's give it a name. So while it is selected, come to this outliner and double click on it, then change it to bottle, or should we call it, let's just call it body, because as that now we don't know if this is a bottle, a container, a jar, or whatever. So let's just call it body. All right, then now we want to model the cover or the lid, as you can, or any way you want to call it. So let's tap to edit mode. So now hold shift and alt, select this, then shift D to duplicate this, and then P to separate by selection. Then tap to your object mode, select this one here, and back to edit mode. All right, so now we want to make our lid. So press A to select everything and press Z to extrude like so. Let's be in the wireframe mode and see what we are doing. We don't want to exceed the top, so let's take it down a bit like so. All right, so now let's cover this. Press E to extrude and S to scale like so. E to extrude and S to scale like so, and then press F to fill. All right, so now let's add some loop cuts. Control R to add a loop cut here, move it like so. Then the next thing you are going to do, be in the object mode. Okay, let's not be in the object mode, let's be in the edit mode, and then press A to select everything. All right, let's look at what we have here. Then go to first selection mode, and we want to extrude along normals. Click on extrude along normal, then extrude inward. We want to give it a bit of depth, extrude it inward like so. All right, so after that, let's add some loop cuts. So Control R to add a loop cut here, move it up. Control R, add a loop cut, move it down. All right, now Control R to add a loop cut, move it down like so. Control R, add a loop cut, move it up like so. All right, so now let's go to object mode and shade smooth this. All right, so we have this. All right, let's go and do same for our body. So before we do that, let's rename this to lid. You can say lid or cover. All right, so now let's select the bottle. All right, tap to be in the edit mode, press A to select everything, and then go to face selection mode, or you could press Alt E to be in this extrude faces along normal. So let's extrude it inward, like so. We want to give it a bit of depth, like so. I think this is fine. All right, this is fantastic. All right, so now we are done with the modeling. What we are going to do now is to apply texture to our container. So now let's see what we can do here. So now the first thing we are going to do is to split our viewport. So come to this place here, right click, go to vertical split, and split the viewport. All right, so let's keep this side here in the render mode. Let's be in the render mode. Then let's bring in HDRI. So come to this wall properties, click on it, come to color, click on it, make sure that you have downloaded your HDRI. You can go to any of the websites to download the free ones. So now open, click on open, go to where you saved yours or downloaded the folder you downloaded it to. All right, like mine is under here, HDRI. All right, so I would take this one here. All right, so now as you can see, so I want to make sure that what we are seeing here, all these furnitures, we do not want to see them. So what are we going to do? Come to where we have this render properties, then go to film and check transparent. All right, we only want to see our container. All right, now let's start texturing. So this other side here, let's turn it to shader editor. Let's start with the lead, select the lead. All right, so press new, let's change it to lead. All right, so now let's come here and let's change this color to any color you wish to. Then the roughness, let's reduce the roughness, so something like this. All right, I think I'm okay with this. Now let's click on the body here. When you click on the body, select this new, let's give it a name, body. All right, so what we can do here is to keep this roughness. Let's bring the roughness down. I think this is fine. Then come to transmission, because we want our container to be the body to be transparent. Come to transmission, click on it, and the weight, keep it at 1, something like this. All right, you may not really see what is happening here. So what we are going to do here, come to this render engine, change it to cycles, and then change from CPU to GPU compute. All right, so this is what we have here. Now the next thing we are going to do, we need to add a label to our bot or container, whatever you call it. All right, so let's close this part for now. Select the container, tap to edit mode. All right, while we are in the edit mode, let's just come over here to the solid view. All right, so what we are going to do here is let's add a loop cut or some loop cuts here. Control R to add some loop cuts here. All right, now let's Control B to bevel. Like so. All right, you may or may not do this. Let's just remove the unnecessary loop cuts. Let's undo this. So just Control R to add. Let's just give it 5 loop cuts. Let's just give it 5. So come here, change it to 5. I think 5 is fine. So now be in the face selection mode, press 3 to be in the face selection mode. Select these faces like so. Come over here, hold shift, select these faces. make sure that all the faces here are selected like so. So now press Shift D to duplicate like so, and then press P to separate. Alright, so go back to object mode. Now let's select this, scale it out a bit like so. So let's rename this to label. Alright, so let's tap back to edit mode. Then okay, this is the front view. Let's go to the back view, then select any of these edges. I'm going to select this one here, hold shift, select this, or be in the edge selection mode. So while you're in the edge selection mode, hold shift, select this edge, then hold control and select this edge here. So now what you're going to do, right click and go to where we have mark seam, to mark seam. Alright, so now we are going to go to UV editing. Alright, but before then, let's give this our label a texture. So split this again, change this to shader editor. Alright, so now let's make sure that we are selecting this label. Alright, so now we are going to bring in image texture. So while this one is selected, you can press Ctrl T to bring in image texture like so. So now press open, go to where you save your own, the label. You could get any label on the internet. Alright, if you cannot design yours, so I'll go to reference. I save mine here where we have reference. So let me get mine. Alright, yes, mine. So select it. Alright, so now the next thing I'm going to do here is to go back to UV editing like so. Now select everything here and then let's unwrap. Alright, so let's see what you're having here. Let me take it back to this render. So now press A to select everything here and R to rotate it. Alright, so now move it along the x-axis like so, then scale it. The rotation is not proper, let's rotate a bit. Alright, so scale it again like so, scale it. Alright, so now let's see what we have here. Let me be in the alright, as you can see our label has flipped. As you can see now, the label has flipped. Alright, let me put it this way so that you can see what I mean. The label has flipped. So what we want to do now is to change it and keep it in the correct way. So how are we going to do that? Let's see. So now let's go back to our texture shader editor. Alright, the shader editor of our label. So what we are going to do here is now simple. So just come to where we have scale, the x-axis. Okay, let me turn this on so that you can see what I mean. Alright, let's, as you can see the letters, the way they are written. So we want to change it and keep it in a proper way. So what we are going to do now, come to where we have scale here is in 1, so we are going to keep it at -1, and as you can see everything change back to normal. Alright guys, so this is how you can model, texture and add a label to your container. Alright, I think let me change this this HDRI to another one. Let me give it this other one. Alright, now before you're through with your work, let's make sure that everything is normal. So come over here, let's check. Wow, so can you see? That's why our texture was not proper. So we are going to change all this red and make sure that everything is blue. So select this one first, tap to edit mode, press A to select everything, and shift N to recalculate normals. Alright, now snap back, select this body, tap to edit mode, press A to select everything, and shift N to recalculate. Alright, now tap back, then select the label, press tab key to be in the edit mode, press A to select everything, and shift N to recalculate normal. So now everything is normal. Let's look at what we have. Alright, so now here is what we have. This is our glass, sorry, our container. Let me select the body again, and let me see what I can do with the roughness. Let me take it out a bit, something like this. Alright, let me hide this so you can see this. Let me change this. So now guys, you can now add your camera and lights, then render your container. Alright, let me just change this to this and see what we have. No, let me take it back to HDRI. Alright guys, so this is how you can model a container where you can put your pills, put anything you want to. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, I would like for you to like the video and share it to your friends, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so that you can learn more and more free tutorials from the channel. Alright, I think that's all for now. We will see you in the next one. Peace.